Trilogy.
Alright, so welcome to Channel Blaine, or Andrew Dean Foster. This is my friend, and
I'm glad. Yeah.
yes, you've probably seen a little bit of his work before.
Yeah. Do you remember that really horrible discount superhero film and there's an extra in some of the older films
Yeah,
and the newer ones as well. Where that's me.
yeah,
I'm a great guy.
you,
But yeah, as for now, we're just reviewing Inferno.
yeah. So Inferno is the pardon?
I said, oh boy.
Oh boy, yes. So Inferno is the third entry into the Davinci Trilogy, based on the Dan Brown novel series. The film is directed by Ron Howard and it stars Tom Hanks and Felicity Jones. Now, what else?
Yeah, and so in the film, really old to say, but the first film was The Da Vinci Code, the second one being Angels and Demons.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard much about the Angels and Demons, the second film, but apparently both were well received. I don't know, I've heard good things about the Da Vinci Code, at least.
Yeah, I've heard stuff about Da Vinci Code.
Mm.
What? Yeah. So what I like about this film, well, what this film has going for it is it does have a very interesting premise, and about the but I think the premise wasn't the best executed. It was quite slowly drawn out.
Yeah, it was. I feel like it was quite dull, to be honest. Especially the second half. Um, it wasn't really drawn out. I feel like certain parts could have been cut. Just to make the film go a little bit faster.
Yeah. The film was definitely longer than it should have been.
Definitely. If you want to make it a slow burn, that's fine, but it needs to be interesting throughout. And I feel like there were certain parts that were a little bit more interesting, then it just carried on and on.
Yeah, they just didn't know when to cut it. The film has really good acting. You know, it has Tom Hanks and Felicity Jones. They're always going to be good in their roles, no matter what. And the side cast, they're also pretty good characters in this film. They do pretty well with what they're given.
Yeah, I don't think the characters themselves are very memorable, but the acting is definitely top notch.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't say any of the actors honed it in. They did a really good job with what they were given.
Yeah, they were definitely good job. There's a Felicity Jones's character. At first her character seemed like just an average person who was caught up in the whole debacle that was going on. But then there was this twist that happened, which I really felt out of place in the film. It just didn't have enough clues that in the film that would have had made you go mind click and say, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." It just kind of felt out of place and didn't work well with how the films worked. Now they may have executed it better in the books. I don't know. I haven't read it, but in the film, it just didn't feel right.
An obvious example being Fight Club, where obviously really I can't remember the director of Fight Club.
David Fincher.
That's really obvious. But he did leave all these really saying I guess spoiler alert for Fight Club. Sorry if you haven't watched it, but it's really good. You should have already seen it. Where you know that Tyler Durden is not real. You can really there's hints throughout that kind of. It's almost as if he's saying from the get-go. Really, the only way he can be more obvious about it is if he literally wrote Tyler Durden is not real. But we're still surprised that it made sense to us. Whereas in this one with Felicity Jones' character, there's no build-up. We don't know. It doesn't make sense for a twist.
Yeah, it does.
And I personally didn't mind the character. I felt like her character was more interesting than Thomas Hanks' character.
Yeah, she definitely had more of an arc to her in this film, and maybe that's because I haven't seen the other two films, and maybe with Tom Hanks's character that his arc is more explored in those other two films. Maybe you'd have.
And I think, but to be honest, I think if you were going into this film a bit more blind,
Yeah.
then obviously, then we might feel less disappointed in Tom Hanks' character arc in this film in comparison to the other film.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. So I guess that's one thing that we had going for it, because I don't know about you, but I haven't seen the Da Vinci Code or.
No, I haven't seen either of them. I
Um,
might check them out after this just to get an idea. But
yeah, fair enough. But yeah, basically he didn't have much of a. I'm not going to say he didn't have much of a character arc, but basically he didn't have a character. He felt more like he was his own personal
yeah,
like,
it felt like his character was there just to drive the plot along and less to have have a character, I guess.
yeah, he was quite dull. Like his character, obviously the Tom Hanks performance, he did really well, I think. With what he was given. And I guess another thing that I wanted to point out is really good is the final act. That gets it because
Yeah, the final act was really well done.
mm,
I also didn't mind that like the first 5 minutes of the film I felt was pretty good for what it was.
yeah, first it definitely does try to confuse and put you into his character's shoes. I guess. If yeah.
And and I also found the film.
Maybe the first 2 minutes were kind of more another kind of part to it. But basically set up the two main kind of the first 5 minutes definitely cover the two main kind of I guess aspects of the film where I'm not going to say what it is because it's kind of a spoiler. But basically the first minute kind of they go through I guess the two most important aspects of the plot of I guess the film.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Like the editing in the beginning and the way the sword was told was not the best.
No, it wasn't.
Like the beginning was kind of it was interesting, but people were like, "Oh, what's going on?" And I guess might spoil. I guess, but basically, Tom Hanks' character suffering from minor amnesia, not able to remember anything that happened for the past 2 days or something like that beforehand.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the film, and it's like that. He was obviously confused, and we don't know what's going on. He's confused. He's seeing visions of, Dante's Inferno, based obviously, pretty much in the title.
Yeah.
And he basically he's confused. He's seeing all the different visions, and we get that sense as well because obviously the editing. And we're both equally confused, but as the plot's going along and it starts to more about the past, when it's supposed to be a bit more clear.
Yeah, it's still quite confusing and it's hard to follow at times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to follow.
Because they keep on throwing in these new twists and turns, and I can understand it, some of these twists and turns for thriller films, but it just didn't feel well edited together as well.
I feel like there was a bit of a lack of focus.
Yeah.
In the film.
Definitely.
In that regard.
Yeah, definitely.
Only by the third act started to get a bit more interesting. To be honest, by the end of the second act, I was mostly zoned out. I checked my phone 2 times by that point. And the twist, I'm not going to say what it is, but kind of really, it didn't rock the right way.
No.
But I feel like, based off everything that happened, that's when the film got a bit more focus.
Yeah.
And
Because it began to come a bit more clearer at that time. That's when the film began to
In the
improve.
last
Yeah, in the last act.
That was when, yeah, that was enjoyable.
Hmm.
That was the best part of the film. Easy.
Yeah.
Um, and especially the score, like by the end, it's that, but in general as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'll give it that.
Hmm.
And also, I feel like it was sort of easily shot. It was pretty good. It was pretty well shot.
Yeah.
Like I said,
But you could put that down to just some of the locations, like Venice, Florence, and Istanbul. They're very hard areas to shoot badly because they have a lot of great landmarks and beautiful locations.
yeah, and saying that they didn't put the shots.
Yeah, they did have good shots. And
Um,
what I liked about this film is that they did ask some interesting questions and raise some interesting points, and they explored these extremes of what people might do when they believe in these ideas, and that is a bit thought provoking. But then again, it's also quite confusing with all these twists that they keep on throwing in. It's a bit hard to follow as well.
I think you're giving the film a bit more than what I would give it because, yeah, the film does have that kind of question, but because of how boring the film is, boring, it's just not work.
Yeah, but it was definitely very bland and drawn out, and
Yeah. So basically, the questions that it was asking, we don't give a shit about them.
yeah, I feel like they could have explored those areas a lot better than what they did. Like, I don't know, Wally's a good example where they explored the issues of pollution and stuff, and they made a really interesting story out of it.
Yeah. And
But
the thing was as well, I felt like there was obviously more focus involved, and I think that's why we actually we cared a bit more about the question that it was asking,
yeah,
rather than questions that this film was asking.
hmm,
I mean, to be fair, the issue is a bit more complicated in this comparison to Wally, like that question of,
yeah,
how
and the film definitely takes itself very seriously at times. And some of the whole, I don't know, kind of reminded me of a bland kind of Indiana Jones, how they're looking for this thing and they're going through all these old ancient landmarks. If you know, in Last Crusade, there's a bit where they're in Venice, and I remember they touring under the canals and the tunnels.
I get none of that.
Yeah, but it just felt bland and boring in comparison to that.
Yeah. So I think that's it. We're looking at kind of do that grading system. I guess out of 5 stars, I'd give it maybe
2.5.
2.
Yeah, I'd say that roughly that. Out of 5 stars, 2.5.
Yeah.
So, thank you for joining me, AD, on this review. Maybe,
Thank you anytime, man.
yeah, maybe some other time in the future, if there's another film out, we can do it again.
Definitely sounds good.
Alright, thank you, dude, and
Alright. Cheers, man.
see you.
Bye.
Bye. And thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like for more. Hope you enjoyed this review, and hope you enjoyed my guest star today. And he'll be joining us for more future reviews in the future. Hopefully they're just as good or better than what they are now. See ya, dudes. See ya, dudes.